Oh yeah. For like past 2 or 3 weeks. Like the tendon in my elbow has been fucking killing me when I do chest exercises.
Oh.
Try.
It just sounds strange. I mean, without me watching or assessing. Oftentimes, by squeezing the bar with different fingers, you'll find that it relieves the pressure because you're turning on muscles that are inhibited by the muscle that's inflamed. So as you're pressing, but actually Taylor might even be able to give you some manual therapy. And Wes, do you want to just kind of, huh? Yes, they'll be able to tell you what muscle's hot and they'll work with you.
Like right here.
But as you're training, as you're pressing, just think about either squeezing with your fingers here or here. Just try different squeezes. But he'll be a bit better to tell you. Yeah, we'll also give you.
Does that work in your shoulder too?
Huh?
Does that work in your shoulder too?
With regard?
Yeah.
Oftentimes with the shoulder is the position of the elbow.
Yeah. Because like I injured like all the 4 tendons when I was younger.
Yeah.
And like whenever I bench press and I go down, like I go past this point, it feels like this tendon sort of almost jumps out.
Yeah, again, you might need to get some manual therapy, but with regard to the movement, oftentimes if you pick your chest up and arch your back more and bring your elbows down, you take a lot of the pressure off of your shoulder, you put it more into your triceps. So you're more here as opposed to here. You see, so if you're pressing here, notice that the dropping of my sternum is also coupled with medial rotation of the upper arm. And medial rotation is facilitated by this muscle.
Yeah.
But if you pick your chest up and drop your elbows down, and you come from here, it's more of a tricep press.
So like aiming down here?
Yeah. Pick your chest up. You know like how powerlifters, they make that big arch? Yeah. And do it more like that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that might be helpful too. Bodybuilding, bench presses are like, they destroy your shoulders. I understand why they do it because it puts a lot of pressure and tension on the muscles that you want to build, but at the same time, the mechanics of it is kind of screwy.
That's why I screwed up my shoulder.
Try switching to, and study it. Study powerlifting technique for bench press. And switch to a powerlifting technique. Even if you switch to it for a couple months, and then you might be able to go back to your old style, you might be okay.
Yeah, I mean I've had a real trouble, like I've just started benching again like just a couple of months ago. It's been too hard on the shoulder. By the way, do you use a belt when you bench? You don't need to, right? Because I see lots of dudes in the gym, like they're arching like this with the big belts on.
I'm sure a lot of powerlifters have their reason why. I think a lot of it's superstition, but they'll give you logical reasons why. Like I do it because so and so and such and such. The way I see it is that you're teaching your prime movers to train in absence of the stabilizers of the shoulder girdle and the pelvis. And that facilitates an imbalance that ultimately you're gonna have to correct later on when your back is fucked up. You know? So it's like, might as well deal with it properly now.
Do you have any good exercises for your core apart from just doing the regular deadlift?
Dude, you know what the best thing really is a lot of the gymnastic stuff that I put up a couple videos doing.
Oh, right, cool.
The minute I think my core is strong, I go and try a front lever. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm weak. So developing those. Yeah, developing that stuff. You do gymnastic stuff?
I do like calisthenics.
Yeah, calisthenics. That's really the best way because you could I have to isolate my core because I've created imbalances from faulty training, like strongman without caring about structural integrity. So I do isolate my abdominals a lot with tummy vacuums and crunches. I just bought that Bosu so that I could do full extension crunches and stuff. But like for organic, integrated core exercises, nothing beats calisthenics. You know, gymnastics, calisthenics, martial arts, even yoga. It's helpful. Pilates. The only thing with Pilates is that it's typically focused on the floor, and if it doesn't translate up into a standing movement, or you're not integrating it into actual movements, the tendency is there for those muscles not to really actually engage when you go and do squats, deadlifts, and so forth. But it's good for isolation. Right? What does Paul often say? Isolate, then integrate, right? Isolate, then integrate.